Can Eritrean missiles reach Addis Ababa? Can Eritrea hit Addis Ababa? Does Eritrea have the military capability to target Addis Ababa, the Ethiopian capital? An Eritrean propagandist, an Eritrean government-backed activist, made some claims 2 days ago. His name is Avil Said. He is a PFDJ-backed activist and propagandist. What did he say? How convincing are his claims? What are real Eritrean capabilities when it comes to claims about hitting Addis Ababa? Secondly, a neighboring country says it is going to mediate between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Which country? Does this country have any influence? Can it play a role in diffusing tensions between Ethiopia and Eritrea? Let's start with this news story, which is about an effort to mediate between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Who is going to mediate? Sudan. Al Burhan, Sudanese General Abdul Fattah al Burhan, says that he will mediate between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Al Burhan met with Americans. Al Burhan is in a strong position now in Sudan. RSF are defending, and Al Burhan took back Khartoum, Bari, Darman, large parts of Kordofan taken by Al Burhan military. Al Burhan military is now pushing into Darfur. RSF definitely under pressure, but still they're not down and out. They're in the war. They're in control of large parts of Darfur. Al Burhan says war will go on until Sudan's territorial integrity and sovereignty is ensured. He wants to crush RSF. And Al Burhan has been heard saying that he will mediate between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Firstly, Al Burhan's mediation won't be accepted by Ethiopia. Al Burhan is Isaias Afwerki's ally. Eritrea is a key player in Sudan. It's supporting Al Burhan military against RSF. Eritrea providing weapons, military training, logistical support to Al Burhan's military against RSF. Al Burhan's military relocated its Air Force jets and bombers to Asmara a few weeks ago when RSF carried out drone strikes on Port Sudan. So Al Burhan's mediation is not going to work. It's not acceptable. Al Burhan wants Eritrea to be a player in Eritrean uh, internal discussions. For him, Eritrea is more acceptable than other countries. Secondly, why is that everyone is ready to mediate in the Horn of Africa? The countries which cannot solve their internal issues, they are ready to mediate between neighboring countries. Why is that? I mean, Somalia's president a few days ago said that Somalia was ready to mediate between Ethiopia and Egypt. Al Burhan says, and you know what is happening in Somalia. Uh, Hassan Sheikh is not in control of his own country. Al Burhan not in control of his own country, and he wants to mediate between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Last year, Isaias Afwerki sent a special messenger to Sudan. Not last year, before the start of war in Sudan. And Isaias Afwerki offered to mediate between RSF and Sudan's military. Back then, Al Burhan and Hamdan Dagalo were partners in power. Al Burhan rejected that offer. So Eritrea wanted to mediate between RSF and Al Burhan, between Al Burhan and political forces there. Ethiopian PM visited Sudan last year. And Ethiopia has been offering to mediate between RSF and Sudanese military. So everyone here is ready to mediate, but these leaders cannot mediate. They cannot talk to the groups in their own countries. They cannot solve their internal issues, but they're ready to mediate abroad in neighboring countries. Now, back to the main topic. Can Eritrean missiles hit Addis Ababa? What did Awil Said say? Awil Said is Eritrean PFDJ backed propagandist. Awil is very close to the ruling party in Eritrea, and ruling party basically launches propaganda through Awil Said. And his talks manifest the views, the policies of the Eritrean government. Awil Said 2 days ago boasted about the Eritrean military capabilities. What did he say? Firstly, he said, Eritrea can hit Addis Ababa with drones. Eritrea has this military capability. Secondly, he said that Eritrean missiles can reach Addis Ababa. Thirdly, he said that Eritrea can cut the lifeline of Ethiopian economy, that is Ethiopia-Djibouti road. Ethiopia, a landlocked country, uses Djibouti ports for over 90% of its imports exports, and Ethiopia is connected with Djibouti through this road. If this road is cut off, obviously Ethiopian economy won't be able to survive, it will collapse. But Tigray fighters tried that, by the way, during the war. Tigray war, they failed. They could never reach the road. So, question of yours is, what is Eritrean known missile and drone capabilities? Firstly, missile capabilities. Does Eritrea have any long-range missiles which can reach Addis Ababa? Well, Eritrea does not have known capabilities of having surface-to-air missiles. I'm saying surface-to-air missiles which can reach Addis Ababa from any part of Eritrea. Known. I'm saying known. Maybe they have secret capabilities. They have purchased such long-range weapons, long-range missiles, but they don't have known capabilities. They only have S-125 reportedly. S-125 is a short-range missile system. I think they deployed S-125 in southern Red Sea region where Assab is located. S-125 has a range of 40-50 kilometers. That's, I think, the maximum range of S-125. These missiles cannot reach Addis Ababa. They have Karasakhas. Karasakhas are basically EWs, electronic warfare systems. So they don't have any long-range missile systems. Maybe they bought, don't know, but not confirmed. But they have fighter jets and bombers. They have MiG-29, Su-27. Though Ethiopia has better and more modern fighter jets and bombers. But even these MiG-29 and Su-27 can also be effective. If somehow MiG-29, Su-27, they penetrate Ethiopian Air Force and they deceive Ethiopian air defense systems, these MiG-29, Su-27 can hit Addis Ababa. But it depends on the effectiveness of Ethiopian air defense systems and Ethiopian Sus and MiGs. If somehow they manage to enter Ethiopian airspace, then they can fire air-to-ground missiles. But it's very difficult, by the way, because Ethiopian Air Force jets and bombers don't They won't allow these MiG-29 and Su-27 to enter Ethiopian Air Force and come deep into Ethiopian airspace. They won't. Ethiopian MiGs and Sus won't allow Eritrean MiGs and Sus to enter Ethiopian airspace because Ethiopian machines are more modern and more advanced. And Ethiopia is better at defense systems. What about drones? Well, drones can hit anywhere. Drones can deceive at defense systems. You're seeing what is happening in Russia-Ukraine war. Ukrainian drones are hitting targets deep into Russia. They're not being fired from Ukrainian territories. They're being smuggled into Russia, and from there, they're being launched. So drones can be used to hit Addis Ababa. And I think Eritrea is acquiring modern drones. No, it's not difficult for Eritrea to acquire modern drones. I will say that UAE can supply drones to any country, but I think it won't supply it to Eritrea. Eritrea has so many other providers. It can buy drones from Sudan now. Sudanese drones, I did a video on that a few days ago, are very effective in the ongoing Sudanese civil war. Eritrea can buy drones from Iran. Iranian drones are deadly too, not as effective as Turkish, but still they're very effective. So Eritrea can buy drones from anywhere, and drones can definitely hit Addis Ababa. Thanks for watching.